So this one was pretty simple. This game one, Minnesota at my Oklahoma City Thunder, who are going to win this year's NBA championship. This was real simple in the second half. Oklahoma City trailed by 4 at halftime, and all of a sudden, SGA went MVP on the Timberwolves, while Ant-Man, right on schedule, turned into Can't-Man. He just can't. Second halves, fourth quarters, playoffs. I told you going into this, way too often in big playoff game fourth quarters, he has been Can't-Man. What happened in the second half tonight? SGA scored 20 in the second half. In the second half, he was a game best plus 25 and plus minus. In the second half, Ant-Man scored 5 points. 5 total points, 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. In the second half, he was a game worst, minus 26. And in the fourth quarter, when Minnesota did cut it to 10 a couple of times, Can't-Man played 7 minutes and took 1 shot, a 3, and missed it. So for the game, if we just look at the total game, SGA, who was 2 of 13 in the first half, still pulled it all the way up to a plus 22 for the game. That was a game best for the game tonight, the whole 4 quarters. Can't-Man, who scored 0 points in the fourth quarter, was a game worst, minus 23. Think about that. The worst player on the floor, says plus minus, was Can't-Man tonight. In the second half, the Oklahoma City Thunder won it 70-40. That's an ass kicking. That's an overwhelmed, overmatched, overrated. I told you Can't-Man is overhyped and overrated. I know he's in every other TV commercial. How can you? Why do you dunk so much, Can't-Man? I don't care. He can try to dunk. Did he dunk any tonight? I don't remember. He had the one where Dort fouled him to keep him from dunking. SGA is so much better, so much more impactful on both ends of the floor than Anthony Edwards that it's a joke to me. SGA in the second half, I've never seen anything quite like a 6'5" guard. And by the way, thank you, Clippers, for giving that Paul George trade the Oklahoma City Thunder SGA MVP. SGA, when he gets into the lane, I keep thinking he's going to lose the basketball, but he's got the strongest handle in the NBA in the lane. Either way, left or right, he just powers. It's Harden-esque when Harden was in his MVP form in Houston, where you slither into the lane. Yeah, he gets a lot of foul calls. I got it, but he earns them. The referees send him to the free throw line because he earns them. He got a couple of marginal calls tonight, but his ability to slither into the lane and keep the basketball in heavy traffic just astounds me. And then the difference in him and James Harden in 2018 MVP year. SGA has the sweetest mid-range jumper I've ever seen. He just goes up and it is as sweet and pure as honey. It's as smooth as honey. It's just unbelievable how it just goes up and it just floats in. He shoots it so softly, it just floats in, and it's just deadly. Sweet and smooth as deadly honey. He just gets to the rim. Nobody gets to the rim better than SGA. And here's what astounds me. SGA in the regular season led the league in scoring, and he led the league in individual defensive win shares. Think about that. He was the best offensive scorer, best offensive player, just scoring the basketball. And he was the number 1 rated defensive player in all of the league. And what amazes me, he's a shot blocker. He's a weak side, crafty leaper. He comes from nowhere and gets his hands on shots. he averages almost 2 steals a game because he gets his hand on the basketball. And here we go again. I told you, Oklahoma City smokes you like pot. They smoke you like pot, and that's P-O-T, points off turnovers. Tonight, it was 31-10, Oklahoma City points off turnovers. Tonight, the T-Wolves they made some in the first half, but they just resorted to shooting deeper and deeper threes. They got pushed completely out of their offense where they wound up jacking up 51 threes tonight and made 15. That's 29.4%. But 51 threes, they just got pushed deeper. In the second half, they're just jacking up threes. They're almost shooting logo threes. Miss, 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 miss. How about my man Chet? Played big in the second half with 13 points. Just plays taller and taller, as skilled as 7-footer. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I used to have a reputation for saying white American 7-footers just can't play in the NBA. They're stiff city is what they are. They're dorky, they're lame, they're clumsy, and don't ever take them, especially in the lottery. I gotten so much heat for that. And finally, with Chet, I said, no, that one can play. That white American 7, I think he's 7'1", that 7-footer can play, highly skilled, can move without the basketball and with the basketball. He can dribble, he can dunk on the fly, and he played big tonight. So it just comes down to second half, the leader of the Thunder came out, SGA, and said, I'm going to go MVP. And he did. And the leader of the Timberwolves is supposed to be Anthony Edwards. And, okay, so he had an ankle. He's always got something going on with his ankle. Had to go to the locker room for a bit. I don't know listen, if you go out there and you play, to me, I'm just going to judge how you play. He looked fine to me. Was it his right ankle that he tweaked? I don't know. Maybe he had to get a pain-killing shot. I have no idea. He's had all kinds of ankle trouble, but they were raving about him on the broadcast, saying that all of his teammates say he's unbelievable. He's LeBron-like, where you think he's turned his ankle over to the floor, and he shakes it off. Maybe he gets it retaped, and he plays. And he played tonight, and he played the way he's played in so many big playoff games in the fourth quarters. I told you on my show this week, it got so bad last year that he hyperventilated and needed to go up the tunnel to get oxygen in one of those fourth quarters against Dallas. Remember, they lost the first 2 games to Dallas at home. And then in the one game that they won, he played pretty well in the fourth quarter. And then he told whoever was broadcasting the game, I guess it was ESPN, told him on the floor after the game, well, the change tonight was I finally figured out how to play in a fourth quarter. Okay. The one game they won at Oklahoma City this year was the 24-point comeback when Chris Finch just benched Anthony Edwards in the fourth quarter. It was split 2-2, but they were down 24 early in the fourth quarter, and Chris Finch pulled Ant-Man after like 3 minutes of the fourth quarter and barely put him in for the end of overtime, and it was a miraculous comeback. Not tonight. 70-40 in the fourth quarter. And here's the point. Here's what Oklahoma City does to you. With under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, Minnesota still had the lead. Where are you, Ant-Man? You're Cant-Man. You're still up, and all of a sudden, Oklahoma City closes the game. From that point, mid-third quarter, all the way home, they go on a 54-28 blow you out of the gym game. 54-28 run to close the game by the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're unbelievable. Points off turnovers, move the ball. They love each other. They share it. But in the end, it's a superstar game. And Oklahoma City's superstar starred. He superstarred in the second half. And Minnesota's superstar, as I predicted, went Cant-Man. Second half, SGA plus 25 and plus minus, best on the floor. Second half, Cantman minus 26, worst on either team on the floor in the second half. That's all you need to know. Good night and see you Thursday night. Timberwolves.